Welcome to today's episode, where we'll explore a question that has archaeologists and skeptics alike scratching their heads. Can the absence of evidence actually serve as evidence of absence? And more importantly, who gets to decide? Let's kick off with a fan-favorite controversy, the biblical story of hāʿAy. Traditionally identified with a site called Et Tel, archaeologists have long noted the lack of remains matching the biblical narrative. Skeptics claim this gap in evidence undermines the story's historical authenticity. But wait, does it? Not so fast, says archaeologist Yohanan Aharoni. He highlights that Et Tel was identified by researchers who didn't consider the Bible a historical source. His verdict: the absence of remains doesn't prove anything conclusive. Others, like Y. Ben Nun and A. Green, even argue that hāʿAy could be another site entirely, like Khirbet Marjamer, where evidence of settlement during the biblical conquest period actually exists. But it's not just hāʿAy. The infamous Case of Jericho often comes under fire. Back in the 1950s, Kathleen Kenyon described a massive destruction layer, complete with burned debris. Skeptics dismissed it, but later radiocarbon dating by Bruins and van der Plicht pointed straight to the late Bronze Age, right when the Bible says Jericho fell. Coincidence? Maybe. Convincing? Absolutely. Speaking of absence, let's talk about those who make it a mantra. In the case of the Transjordan civilizations, Moab, Edom, and others, archaeologists like Gershon Galil admit the fieldwork is incomplete. Yet even with limited digs, Egyptian records and regional finds point to these societies thriving during the late Bronze Age. And about those camels, the poster child for anachronisms in the Bible. Critics once argued that camels weren't domesticated until the 12th century BCE. But hold the reins! Archaeological evidence, including petroglyphs, bones, and even ancient tools, places domesticated camels as far back as 3000 BCE. This outdated claim has been debunked so many times it's practically fossilized. But why does any of this matter? Well, some critics wield the lack of evidence argument like a wrecking ball to discredit ancient Israel's historical claims. It's more than academic, it's political. If there's no evidence for early Israelite history, then who wrote the Bible and when? And what's their agenda? Take Garfinkel's findings at Khirbet Qeiyafa, for example. Until 2010, scholars confidently asserted there was no writing in 10th century Judah, no bureaucracy, no scribes. Then Garfinkel found 4 inscriptions, flipping that narrative on its head. Turns out Judah had a whole network of literate officials long before skeptics gave it credit. Awkward, right? Here's the kicker. Archaeology is messy. Sites get looted, records decay, and interpretations swing with every new discovery. As Professor Moshe Garstiel points out, ancient Israelites didn't use durable clay tablets like Mesopotamians, but relied on perishable materials like papyrus and leather. No wonder we have so few surviving texts. So, the next time someone says we haven't found evidence, remind them that archaeology is a slow, incomplete process. Discoveries like these, Jericho's walls, camels in the Bronze Age, and writing in Judah, should inspire us to stay curious, not draw premature conclusions. Thanks for tuning in. Drop a comment below if you've ever been surprised by a historical discovery, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Who knows? The truth might just be buried a little deeper.